We're following that breaking news out of Illinois, the state filing a lawsuit in an effort to block the Trump administration from deploying National Guard troops to Chicago. The president authorized a deployment of hundreds of troops after protests and altercations took place over the administration's immigration crackdown. And in a moment, that has now gone viral from Friday. A city alderperson, Jesse Fuentes, was handcuffed by a group believed to be ICE agents at a hospital after Fuentes repeatedly asked if they had a warrant for a man that they had detained. DHS has not addressed this incident involving Fuentes specifically, but the agency released a statement on Friday saying in part, quote, at the hospital, nearly 30 protesters attempted to break into where the detainee was receiving medical care. We will not be deterred by rioters and protesters in keeping America safe. Let's bring in Alderperson Jesse Fuentes, who represents Chicago's 26th Ward. So thanks first for being here with us. Let's back up for a second. What brought you to that hospital in the first place, and what went through your mind as you were being handcuffed?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Well, first, I was at a different location responding to ICE agents throwing tear gas just a couple hundred feet away from an elementary school, where tear gas had gone into an apartment affecting a pregnant woman, young people, and parents on their way from schools. When I received a phone call from the leadership of Humboldt Park Health that had concerns around ICE agents being in the emergency room, scaring their staff and other patients in the emergency room. So I went over to the hospital and I simply asked the ICE agents if they had a signed judicial warrant for the individual that they were trying to detain inside of the emergency room. Now, I know the department has made claims that there's protesters trying to break in to the hospital, but I just have to say that those claims are not only false, they're flat out lies. I was outside of the hospital till about 10 o'clock that night. No one tried to break in. No one was harassing the ICE agents. In fact, the only person harassed, physically abused in that situation was me. In the video, you see me handcuffed. But what you don't see is that I was shoved twice by that ICE agent up against the wall for simply exercising my right as an older person to advocate for my constituents, to ask a question, and to ensure that they are being lawful in their detainments.
When I look at this video, I can't tell that those are any kind of official. Did you know for sure that they were ICE agents? And how did this end up resolved? Because clearly you're not still detained. So how are you released, and do you expect to face any charges? I know I got a lot of questions all formed in there, but maybe let's take the first one. Like, did you know they were ICE officials?
The question to the answer is one would assume with the way they approached the situation that they were the ICE agents that the hospital was speaking of. But if you look at them, you can't tell. They're in masks without badges, no identification. And they're sitting in a hospital saying that they have the right to detain an individual without any legal documents. The reason I was let go is because I'm someone who knows their rights. And I knew that I didn't do anything wrong. When these ICE agents take me outside of the hospital, they call for backup and Border Patrol comes up. And I asked them to simply articulate to me, what crime did I commit? I wasn't impeding on any arrest. The individual that they were trying to detain was in an emergency room outside of that space that I was standing in. I wasn't meeting them with any aggression. I wasn't physically touching anybody. And so I demanded answers. I demanded for them to tell me why they were arresting me and detaining me. Border Patrol, in that instance, demanded that the handcuffs be removed. So I was not charged, and I do not believe that any charges will come down.
And so you described sort of the context in which all of this took place. There was that flurry of ICE activity throughout the city on Friday, and Illinois Governor Pritzker gave more details about one ICE operation that took place there. Let's listen.
They were going after a few gang members, and instead they broke windows, they broke down doors, they ransacked the place, and there were people that were held, elderly people and children zip-tied. Elderly people held for 3 hours at a time. They are the ones that are making it a war zone.
How is your community reacting to all of this?
Well, our communities are scared, right? Because it's been very clear that this is not about immigration. This is a war that has been put out by President Trump on the city of Chicago. We have citizens that are being detained, citizens that are contract workers outside getting their heads slammed against wall, children who are unclothed being zip-tied and taken out of their homes in the middle of the night. Yesterday, individuals brutalized with pepper spray and guns. These are individuals that are in military vehicles with huge weapons, literally intimidating individuals in the city of Chicago. This is not immigration crackdown. This is not even about safety or security. This is about control, because Donald Trump believes that he is a king instead of a president.
Jesse Fuentes, we appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much.